Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Legal Minute with me, Sophia Bryan. I'm an international lawyer, and my mission is to support my clients to use the law as a vehicle to build and protect their legacy. Everything I share here is for the purpose of public education, and it's to spark your interest to go ahead and do some research and contact your attorney at law. Today we're going to be continuing our series around estate planning, and I'm going to share with you a little secret. And the secret is that Company Incorporation is not only for the purpose of engaging in commercial activities. So let me go again, or put another way. Company Incorporation, that's registering a limited liability company, is not only for the purpose of operating a business in the traditional sense, at least, because you are a business and managing your estate is a business, right? So just like any other company or every company, there are articles of incorporation. And if you are to establish a company for the purpose of managing your assets, you would dictate in the same way as a typical company what your articles of incorporations would be, the rules that would govern how this company would operate. And of course, like any other company, your company could own assets, i.e., your assets. And you can dictate, based on the articles of incorporation, the manner in which your assets, whether it be a home, whether it be motor vehicles, whether it be an investment portfolio, etc., whatever your assets are, whatever you own, those could take on, the company could take over the ownership of those assets. And why is this something that you ought to consider? I've mentioned before that estate planning is not only when you have an enormous amount of wealth, and of course that varies from person to person. Enormous for me may be totally different for you. And it doesn't boil down to money or assets only. It could be a family heirloom. And for example, you have a home, you've worked hard to build a home, and you want to ensure that every single generation thereafter has the opportunity to live in that home, to have a start, so to speak. I know I speak for every young professional out there, every professional, everyone. Doesn't You don't need to be a professional. Housing is a primary need, and sometimes access to housing can be something that's super stressful. Now imagine if you could be a fairy grandmother or a fairy grandfather by ensuring that all of your grandchildren or grand nieces and nephews would have the opportunity to not worry about housing for a period of time. You, instead of passing it on to a child or somebody in your family, you could ensure that that property is managed by your company or owned by your company, and there would be certain rules in place to ensure that it is managed, and ensures that all your future generations have the opportunity to live in that house. So, just something for you to think about. Of course, there are things to consider, such as upkeep for the house, maintenance, taxes, etc. And so, your attorney would give you advice as to what you can do before the inevitable comes to ensure that those expenses are taken care of. No, I've shared quite a bit for you to think about, but I want to encourage you to think of that as an option. And of course, depending on your jurisdiction, the rules may vary around company being the owner of certain types of assets, right? So I invite you to do your own research, and of course, if you want to speak with me for free about your unique situation and whether or not this may be a possible option for you, you may send an email to Sophia at sophiabryan.com. There should be a link in the show notes or somewhere below this video where you can book a complimentary consultation with me. You may also go to my website at sophiabryan.com, and there you'll be able to find other means of connecting with me. So, happy researching. And remember, estate planning is for everyone. And for those of you who are a bit younger and watching this video, I hope I've given you something to think about where legacy is concerned, right? I hope I've given you a new idea, hopefully. All right, bye. Talk soon.